Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a step-by-step guide into the Cosmos ecosystem. I'm going to show you step-by-step how to set up yourself so that you can obviously get those sweet airdrop money. Obviously, everyone wants that. Before we even begin, it's very important to note that this video is not financial advice. I am, however, recording it as is part of my daily routine to record everything that I'm doing in crypto and share it with you. What you do with this type of information really is up to you. So if you're actually holding Atom in the previous 6 months, you'd have been eligible to earn Juno as an airdrop, of which, as of recording this video, it's hitting its new all-time high. And not only that, also Osmosis as an airdrop, also Secret Network as an airdrop. All these cryptocurrencies have went to make people hundreds of thousands of dollars just by holding Atom, which is really crazy. And it's for that reason that this blockchain has sort of like caught my attention, and I think there is an opportunity to make money. Obviously, like I said, not financial advice here, but I'm going to share with you step by step everything you need to know in order for you to set up yourself to get those airdrops that are coming up in the future. For example, there are more than 30 airdrops that are coming up this year in 2020. As of recording this video, there are airdrops that are currently happening. There are snapshots that are being taken right now. So the question that you may be asking yourself, are you really too late? You didn't get Juno, you didn't get Osmosis, which those cryptocurrencies right now, like I said, are reaching their new all-time high. But in my view, this is just the beginning of something that I believe is going to be extraordinary in the world of cryptocurrencies, especially right now that we're sort of like semi in a bear market. To see these cryptocurrencies reaching their new all-time high in a bear market is really extraordinary, and it's kept me thinking, what will happen if the entire crypto space were to be sort of like in a bull market again? What will happen to this ecosystem? What will happen to these cryptocurrencies? And like I said, not financial advice, but it is no brainer for me to put a little bit of my funds towards this project. But again, all these funds that I'm actually investing into this ecosystem, they are technically not my money because we got them in a previous airdrops. If you've been watching all my videos, you realize that we've made, a ton of money when it comes to airdrop. Well, not a lot, but we are now sort of like in the verge of making maybe a lot or maybe losing it all, who knows. So to get started on the Cosmos ecosystem, the first thing that you have to do is to get a wallet. Which one, you may be asking? Well, I already made a video on Kepler wallet. You can find that in the description of this video, or you can bookmark the information popping up on your top right corner of your screen right now. So once you've got your wallet, you want to make sure that you obviously go and fund your wallet. Like I said, I am using funds that I actually got from my previous airdrops. I'm actually moving a portion of those funds to this ecosystem because I strongly believe that this ecosystem will be really big in the future. Obviously, like I said, I have to keep emphasizing this, that this is not financial advice, but like I said, those funds are not technically my money. So what you want to do is to deposit those funds into your Kepler wallet. So I already bought Atom from Binance. Again, if you don't have the Binance account, you can find the links in the description of this video. Alternatively, you can use other cryptocurrencies as well, but I found that using Atom is sort of like the easiest way for you to get into this ecosystem. So once you've got your Atom on Binance, make sure that you deposit it on your Kepler wallet. So once you've got those funds from your Kepler wallet, what you want to do is to deposit them into your Osmosis ecosystem. So you want to just click on deposit and basically move the funds from your wallet to the ecosystem or to the protocol. So once you're happy with that, just click on max, depending on how much you really want to put towards the protocol, and obviously deposit. And once those funds are deposited, you'll see that obviously everything will start being broadcasted into the network, and you'll see everything will be very fast and will be executed immediately. So now that we have our funds deposited, what we want to click on is trade. Basically, when we're trading one asset for another, and basically what you can do here is to click max and basically just trade all the cryptocurrencies that you have and then exchange them for the next cryptocurrencies. But I'm not going to do that because what I want to do here is to deposit half of that. You can see if I click max, I get about 127 Osmo token, but I want to actually deposit half of that so that I can use the other half of my portfolio to actually provide liquidity and do yield farming or liquidity mining in this case, which is something that I'm also going to show you later in this video if you keep watching. So what I'm going to do is to click on half of that and actually go ahead and swap. So now that I actually swap my currencies, if I come to my wallet over here, you can see that all the funds firstly have been deposited into the protocol themselves. So the next thing is to switch networks. I'm gonna go to Osmosis. You can see that all the funds that we just traded are now within our wallet. The next step from here will be to stake our assets, because remember, in order for you to be eligible for these airdrops, you need to be staking these cryptocurrencies or providing liquidity, which is also something that we're going to be doing in this video. So once you've clicked on stake, you can see that I'm actually staking with 2 validators. That is simply for 2 reasons, and that's simply because I have sort of like other information where airdrops are coming up in the future for anyone who is staking with these specific validators. So for those reasons, for example, if you come to Diffusion here, Diffusion is the next airdrop that is coming up. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, it's going to be late, but they've got 4 criteria in order for you to be eligible for this airdrop, which is something that I believe I'm going to be covering in the next episode. So just to stay on track with what we're talking about here, let's just move over from Diffusion and actually go ahead and stake our currencies. So to stake, you want to make sure that you go and click on Manage. Once you've clicked on that, then you click on Delegate. If you recall that in our previous videos, we've been actually doing this for a long time, so this should be very familiar to you. So basically, when you click on delegation, what you want to do is to move your assets from the actual protocol or from your wallets to the protocol. So basically, you're backing the blockchain with your assets, which can be used for validating transactions. But not only that, it can also be used for voting power, which is something we're gonna get to in a moment. So once you're happy with delegation, like I said, in my case, I'm gonna be staking with both of these validators. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move half of my funds. Obviously you can do max, but I'm gonna move half of my funds and actually delegate them, and obviously go ahead and approve that within your Kepler wallet. Once you're happy with that and everything is done, you want to move the rest of the funds to the next validator and actually do the very same thing. In this case, I'm just moving the rest of my funds and actually going ahead to delegate and approve that on my wallet. And now that we got that sorted out, we can come back to the platform and you can see that we have successfully delegated our funds, which means we need to move to the next stage, because we still have our funds, about $555 left within our accounts, because I want to use those funds to actually provide liquidity and do liquidity mining, because some of these airdrops really require you to be providing liquidity. So now what we want to do is to provide liquidity. Basically, to provide liquidity, as we've been doing in our previous videos, is to take your funds from your wallet and actually provide them to the liquidity pool, as I've mentioned in the video that I have in the description of this video, or you can bookmark the video showing up on the top right screen right now. But when you're actually providing liquidity, you're taking those funds from your wallet and you put them toward the liquidity pool. Basically, anyone who is trading within those trading pairs will be able to pay a fee, and those fee will actually come to you as a liquidity provider. Now you'll be holding on your wallet something called an LP token, but in this blockchain there's something really is amazing, because with our LP tokens we can obviously bond our assets and do something that is called liquidity mining. But not only that, this blockchain has something that I've never seen in the world of blockchain since, well, the very early beginning, and that is something called Superfluid staking. Superfluid staking enables you to actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Like I've said in our previous videos, it's a great concept, but I don't know why we're actually killing those birds. But basically, Superfluid allows you to take your funds and obviously stake them, or rather put them to the liquidity pool and earn passive income with those transaction fees. But not only that, you can also enable this feature, which is Superfluid, which will actually take half of your assets and actually put them towards the delegation. Basically means that you are now earning passive income on those trading fees. But not only that, you're also doing liquidity mining. But not only that, you're now leveraging the power of Superfluid staking, which means that the very same funds that you have on a liquidity pool can then be used to sort of like delegate them on a stake pool, which means you'll be earning those staking rewards and earning those transaction fees, and also be doing liquidity mining. You're basically killing 3 birds with 1 stone. As you guys know, we've been making videos on other blockchain and we were yet to see something like this. It is for that reason that I believe that this blockchain has a huge potential, obviously because they are innovating. Now that we're actually providing liquidity, basically you're just taking those funds, and obviously you need to provide an equal proportion of all the funds that you have on your wallet. So you're putting 50-50. But remember, within this blockchain you can actually provide liquidity using just 1 asset, meaning you don't have to provide an equal proportion of these assets because you're just holding 1 asset on your wallet. But in my view and my humble opinion, I don't think this is a great idea, because this obviously increases the chances or the exposure to impermanent loss to anyone who is on that pool. Remember, when you're actually providing liquidity to a liquidity pool, the way it actually works is that it calculates everything with regards to the ratio of the assets that are within that pool. So when you're just gonna put one asset on that pool, or one-sided assets that are not proportionally balanced, obviously that pool is gonna suffer a lot with regards to impermanent loss. So basically what I want to do here is to provide liquidity. So I'm gonna come to the liquidity pools over here. That's when you can obviously go and choose the specific pool that you want to stake with, or rather the specific pool that you want to provide liquidity to. In this case, I'm just gonna add liquidity on here, but you can see that I only have one asset, so I still have to trade. So I'm going to trade half of that and actually swap that. While that transaction is being broadcasted to the network, I can then switch to a stake pool. Now I'm going to click on pools and actually select a specific pool that I'm looking for. I'm going to add liquidity. Like I said, we have to add an equal proportion of each, but you can see the funds haven't reflected. So I'm going to refresh, and now you can see all the assets are here. Basically, now what I can do is that I can obviously put an equal proportion of those assets. Obviously, like I said, you can do one single asset, but we don't want to do that because that affects the pool. So we're just gonna obviously just put all these assets so that we don't have a significant impact towards the pool. So I've clicked on max. Now I'm going to provide liquidity. I'm going to approve that, and now you can see the transaction is now being broadcasted to the network. Basically, that's all you have to do in order for you to provide liquidity. But now you can see I've got this option here, which is to start earning. Basically, this enables me to bond my asset. So I can bond either for a day or 7 days or even 14 days. But in this case, you can see that I have all these LP tokens. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bond them for about 14 days. So the 14 days is a lockup period in order for you, or rather when you want to withdraw your funds. So I'm going to click on 14 days and click on max and basically bond those assets. And I'm doing this option obviously because it has a higher APY. Not only that, but I also don't need these funds, so I can keep them on the protocol for as long as I have to. So basically what we want to do in this video is to obviously bond our assets, or rather do a superfluid staking. Remember, we have to look for that specific pool that we actually provided liquidity to, and you can see this option says go superfluid. If I click on that, it gives me a list of validators. In this case, I'm just gonna pick this validator over here and I can bond my asset. But you can see that I'm only bonding 16 Osmo tokens, which means I'm actually bonding half of my assets that I have on the Osmo pool. Basically, you can see that here I have about 32. So 16 obviously is going to be half of that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my validator and actually stake and actually go ahead to approve this. Like I said, there are many airdrops that are going to be coming within this ecosystem, obviously this year in 2022 and beyond, depending on when you're watching this video. But the only thing that you can do is to obviously do your own research and try to position yourself in the same manner that I'm sort of like positioning myself, so that I can accumulate some of these airdrops and obviously leverage that to obviously increase my investment with regards to my cryptocurrency portfolio. So if you enjoyed this video, you're probably gonna enjoy this next video showing up on the screen right now, because on that video we're gonna go in depth with the next airdrops that are coming up on this ecosystem. If you don't mind, you can go and click on that video. I'm Vusi Designer. I'll see you there. Goodbye. Peace.